I wanted to talk to you about, those times when you might feel fearful, doubtful. Maybe it's even just like a bad mood, or you are feeling hurt because of some relationship. Maybe you just are having fears about money or a relationship that is either in your life or not in your life. All of these many ways that we kind of feel crummy. Other times when it just feels like you don't know how to make a decision. These different states, these different moods make us feel like we're disconnected, like we are not connected to our higher self, not connected to our angels, our guides. Well, I'm Tricia Carr, and I wanted to talk to you about a very simple, really, it's truly simple way that you can shift out of those states, shift out of that mood, and definitely 100% bring in that activation and that connection to higher self and your guides. So let's have a chat about it. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. It's Tricia Carr. Real quick before we head into this episode, I just want to make sure that you know about Modern Mystic Life, a subscription service for spiritual mentoring and education. The monthly subscription is only $11.11 per month. We have regular support and inspiration delivered with the utmost ease right into your text messenger 2 to 4 times per week. You can use your mobile device or your desktop messenger to access the lessons and meditations, a monthly MP3 download of a produced meditation, at least once per month live meditation led by me. There is no account login, and we have a monthly live class workshop. These are usually $35 for non-subscribers, so it is quite a deal. And the community is amazing. This is a way for you to support the Charmed Life podcast and also a way for us to be able to work more closely together. So do check out how you can subscribe in the show notes. I hope to see you there. Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe, and I am your host. My name is Tricia Carr. All right, let's talk about how we can actually shift our mood and feel that connection to our higher guidance, our higher mind at any time. So like I said, if you're new here, I'm Tricia Carr, and this is a live stream, multi-streaming across a few of my platforms. And you also may be hearing this on my actual podcast, which is called Charmed Life. Now, for those of you who are here live, I had a guest planned to do a live stream of a podcast today, and she is so amazing. Her name is Shanna, and she is the host of Sense of Soul podcast. Now, the reason why Shanna isn't on with me today is because I'm in a studio in Los Angeles, and it's starting right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's jackhammering going on in the street in front of my studio. And they actually just seem to be taking a break, but now here it's coming again. Maybe they're moving far away from my studio. So I asked Shanna if we could change her time because I didn't want there to be like this noise pollution on her beautiful episode with the wonderful conversation I'm going to have with her. And, so we rescheduled that. But I thought, well, I'll go ahead and see what I can get done. Maybe there won't be too much noise pollution. We'll see what happens. So whether you're listening in a replay or live, I am excited to have this conversation with you. I trust that it is divinely timed. And let's see how we can feel that inspiration and connection and support that we are all seeking at all times. So if you are live here, go ahead and tell me hello in the comments. Hi, where are you in the world today? If you have any questions or comments, and if this continues to stay nice and clear as a connection, there's not too much noise pollution from the jackhammering going on in the street, then maybe I'll offer some readings if anybody's interested in that. So I wanted to talk about how, we feel separated, we feel scared, we feel lonely, we feel fearful. Hi, Caitlin. Nice to see you from Reading. Reading, I think you said. Oh, no, you just said from Pennsylvania. I actually inferred that, or maybe I intuited it. When we're feeling just that, we just don't, sometimes it's like, I just don't feel good. Maybe it's just a bad mood, or we feel fearful or doubtful, or we're feeling hurt. and we just don't know how to move forward. And are feeling unsupported. This lack of support feels like we're all on our own. We don't feel like we have the connection with higher self or angels or guides or whatever it is that however it is you're feeling that lack of support at the time. Well, maybe it'll seem really simple to you, but I got to tell you that what it comes down to in those moments to activate that support, prayer. I mean it, prayer. So let's talk about what prayer is. Spirit, as I came on today, I'm like, okay, there's this opportunity that is showing up because it's not fair for my podcast guest to come on when I potentially have some noise pollution going on. The street is shaking and there's the jackhammering going on. So then what is this opportunity? What is it that we can all come together on? And they reminded me that they have been telling me lately as I'm moving through different things, as we always are, but I particularly was moving through some challenging things. And they said, before you move forward, if you're in a state that is feeling negative for whatever reason, pray. Just pray. And so, what prayer is, there's a few ways to look at prayer. We could actually look at it as just asking for support. Do you have a best friend or a partner, or maybe it's your mom or your sister or brother or someone that, whether it's now or in the past, you can pick up the phone and you can say, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?" And they're there with their compassionate listening, and they'll give you some encouragement, they'll give you some support. Whatever, they are just there for support. Well, your higher self is always there for that as well. But we forget it sometimes. And we forget it when we're in that state of fear, doubt, worry, or just a crummy mood. And so you can basically pick up the phone and just ask for that support. That's what you could use prayer for. You could sit and take a moment and breathe and just ask for that support. You could take the first few moments to go ahead and lay your worries or your concerns out for your higher self the same way you would with a companion who is able to give you that support. So you could just say, listen, I just want some support here. I'm actually worried about making rent, or I'm really uncomfortable about this conversation that I'm about to have. And I don't want to, I just genuinely don't want to do it. You can start with that. Lay it out on the table. After you get that little bit of venting done, I urge you now to switch it into a positive prayer. Whereas you start to basically allow that support to come through you, it will be your higher self. So let's take what was the second example I said? Oh, about a conversation. Let's say there's a conversation with an employer. You're going to have an uncomfortable conversation with an employer, or you feel like the employer it's not a good situation right now and it's uncomfortable to move into it, or even you're afraid something bad's going to happen. So then I'm going to demonstrate it. They're going to let me demonstrate. I'm calling in this kind of instance in a universal sense for all of us who've experienced it in some degree or another, but they're actually going to give it to me as though it's happening to me right now. So I'm going to do a bit of channeling in this thought form of a scenario that we may all be able to relate to. So here I am. I'm sitting. I'm going to move into this instance where I'm feeling really uncomfortable about starting this day because I have this unpleasant experience with my employer. So, Spirit, higher self, my angels and guides, I come to you now expecting loving support. I'll admit I feel alone right now. I feel scared. I'm worried about this situation with my employer. I feel like I'm not being treated fairly. I feel like I'm not really seen correctly. And I have made mistakes too, and I'm worried about those mistakes that I've made. And so I just need some guidance right now. I need some support and guidance, and I know that you are here to give it to me. I know that just the frequency of love is here to support me. And so I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you so much for being here to support me in this situation. And with that, I pray over this situation. I let Spirit, I let guides, I let the higher self of these people who are involved in the situation know that I intend to move into the frequency of responsibility, that I intend to learn from any of the mistakes that I've made, and that I would like to have a good and positive experience over it. And so I allow this adjustment within me to shift to something that's courageous, to shift to an open mind, that I may be a good steward of the situation and show up as a blessing. May I be a blessing in this situation to the best of my ability. And I also pray over it that the hearts and minds of everyone involved could be open as well, so that the best of them can come through in this situation, that we can come into the right kind of alignment with one another, whether that means we move forward in one scenario or we move away from one another. I I just ask that you help me to feel the trust in each and every one of us, and the trust and the loving support that I know is here for me, that I affirm is here for me. And even if I may still feel nervous or scared, I just surrender to the love and the trust that is here for me. That this situation, even though it feels dubious and it feels a little scary, that this situation is actually providing the way for me to know and recognize and experience as I move forward in it, the strength within myself and the support that is here for me from my guides and from my higher self. I thank you. Thank you, higher self, for being here now, helping me to be present in each moment so that what I say and how I behave and how I listen and how I have compassion for myself and others will create a beautiful and bountiful transformation in grand and small ways. I am here for it, and I hold this vision, releasing all of my conditional expectations, and I just pray over it for the highest good, unconditionally, the highest good. Thank you so much. I claim this and I affirm it. And so it is. Now, that was just an example, and maybe some of you actually felt it, and maybe you infused that with something that's personal for you, a scenario, a situation, or even just your mood. I don't feel like doing this thing today. I don't know. Help me to be a blessing. So, a prayer can again act as a conversation. And as you start the conversation with what it is that you want to feel better about, then start to actually speak the positive words. And what you'll find, and I don't know if you could feel that in the frequency, when I was in it, I was like letting it come in. And then the words that were coming through me, and I spoke them out loud. You could speak them in your heart or out loud, whatever seems right to you at the time. It actually was me channeling higher self frequency, the higher mind. And I do recommend that if you can, if it feels correct for you to speak it with your voice, because it brings it into your body as an embodied frequency. It's actually a creation, it's a crystallization of the energy. And your throat chakra is your manifestation center. So as it brings all of the energies that you receive from within and from above, it all goes through your throat. It is the manifestation center. So as you're speaking out that positive energy, those positive affirmations and declarations and decrees, it is actually shifting and changing both your physical body and the physical instrument, or excuse me, the energetic instrument of your throat chakra, the manifestation center. Now, the other thing is if you align with craft, witchcraft or magical workings of any kind, this is a spell. You are actually casting a spell over the situation, and you're drawing the energies in and shifting and changing and activating yourself to be actually creating this higher reality. You're actually, in a manner of speaking, quantum leaping into a different reality where the highest good 100% is being experienced. So what the formula of it is to get to the place where you are positively speaking over and within the situation, and then of course in yourself, declaring that you intend to be whatever that highest good, whatever the strongest and highest version of yourself is, that that you will be able to infuse your energy into it in that way as well. So before you move forward with something, if you're feeling afraid or doubtful in any way, know that you have this powerful yet simple. Isn't that how it always is? Potent practice of prayer. Or you may think of it as casting a spell. All of it is true. They say the reason that we call it spelling when we're writing is because it is a spell. So bringing it into your awareness, focusing on it, again, whether you say it inside or with your voice, helps to shift the spells that you are already casting upon yourself, to change your mindset, which means put into the set of your mind as if it were a stage or a movie set, put into it the story or the narrative that is your good story. We're not lying to ourselves. We are creating a hopeful narrative, a story or a spell. And hope, by the way, is a magnetic frequency, a magnetic for the positive possible outcome, the positive and preferred possible outcome. That's what we have going on, and it's at our disposal. So, because I was moving through some challenging times recently, we're always going through challenging times. I was particularly in this cycle of cleaning up some energy. It was challenging in the sense that I had moved through some, deep healing of core wounds. And I'm kind of like in the last stages of this one particular cycle. So I got these extra little challenges that showed up to show me how strong I am and to kind of like shore up the strength that I had just developed through this, longer cycle of healing. And so they were telling me, yes, there are these challenges that are showing up for you each day, sometimes each hour. Before you move forward with that feeling of lack of support or fear or doubt or worry, just pray over it and pray into it. Pray over yourself and pray into yourself. That is activating the higher self connection. That is those when we are feeling the doubt or worry, that's actually we're feeling as though the soul urges are not being blossomed, the truth of who you are. We're feeling like it's being killed, or the ego part of ourselves, the personal ego part of ourselves feels like we're all alone and stranded all by ourselves. So praying over it activates the capacity for your higher self to not just, how did they tell me on the way in? Oh, they told me to give you guidance, but not only guidance, but to literally step into your being, into your body, your higher self, and to animate your form. For your higher mind then to be able to think thoughts for you, feel feelings for you, and create actions and behaviors for you through your body, like sitting inside you and living as your higher self. That's what this prayer and spell practice grants for you. And we will be right back. Hello, Charmed Life listener. It's Tricia, and I am making a special invitation for you to Sacred Sphere. This is a bi-monthly communal learning, practice, and resonance space. It is your community for intuition, manifestation, and spiritual development. It's happening twice per month, and there are special benefits if you subscribe so that you can go to every one of these or see the replays. It is a place for your deep, immersive healing and your powerful manifestation practice to unfold in your life. I'm so excited about this. The vision for this is large and wonderful. We're going to be changing our own lives, and I believe we're going to be changing the world. So check it out. The link is in the description. We can't wait to work with you, to see you, to love you there. Empowered Empath. This is a program designed for the sensitive soul, for the person with that empathic nature. And by the way, that is a healing ability. However, this is a healing ability that you can't turn off. You cannot turn off your empathic nature because it's more than just a psychic or healing ability. It is also how you are designed. So the Empowered Empath is a powerful program that is also gentle, consists of 4 modules with 8 life-altering lessons, 4 aura tuning meditations, and we have bonus group healing and coaching sessions that are coming up really soon. You definitely want to check the show notes so you can see when those are coming up. You have access to it for a whole year. You'll be able to continue to water the garden of your empathic nature. You'll learn how to feel centered and peaceful as a sensitive person, how to use your gifts as a superpower that they are meant to be, and you'll be receiving attunement and healing and new life strategies to live in the power and purpose of your sensitive nature. It's especially tailored for those who want to turn their empathic and sensory overwhelm into intuitive strength. It is immersive yet very gentle program, and it's suitable for all levels of development. And I especially recommend it for those whose human design body graph reveals that they have an undefined emotional solar plexus. So if you are just ready to turn that sensitive sponging into the thing that we really need right now, we need your sensitive genius shining on this planet to be in the high frequency, high functioning of your sensitive superpower. So join Empowered Empath. You have access to the lessons starting right away. Oh, by the way, it's very affordable and even comes with payment plans. Only $177 for all of this content, and you can make a payment plan of 3 months or 6 months. I made it extremely affordable and accessible because I know what it's like to need the help. So if it's your first time of really healing your empathic nature, or you need to do it another time, this is the program for you. I can't wait to see you there. And now back to the show. So just think about it as getting to the place where you are positively praying into and through both yourself and a situation, however it is that it's showing up for you. So I can't believe it. The jackhammering stayed away for all this time. So that's what I had to share with you today. But those of you who are here, do you have anything else you would like to discuss or ask about or get a little mini reading about? I'm going to leave that on the table for you for a moment as I just share a couple of things that are coming up while you guys are maybe writing something in the feed. And I wanted to share with you that I have a couple of really amazing ways that we can connect. I'm actually going to be making an offer. I mean, not an offer, excuse me. Let me say, what do I want to say? I'm actually going to be announcing something really soon that's going to be a big and amazing soul shifting experience. So there's a little tease. But in the meantime, I have a couple of ways that we can start to, or continue to, if you're already a part of it, get acquainted with one another, and for you to be able to receive support and attunement on your journey. And one of them is low cost and high value community that meets twice per month in person. And that is my Modern Mystic. Modern Mystic is a it's got so much going on, and that's why I'm stammering. There's exclusive content that is delivered to you to help you to kind of nurture your life as a modern mystic. And we also have a really powerful workshop once per month in person. Well, on Zoom, you know what I mean? And a meditation. We just had the meditation this morning before I came on live here. And it was actually a higher self resonance meditation. And it's only $11 a month. And you can subscribe and unsubscribe it at any time. So go to my website. You'll find it under courses or work with me, I think it is. But also you can find it here in the description of however it is that you're listening or watching. And if you're live right now, hi, it's right there on the screen. So that's Modern Mystic, and that's available to you all the time. I also have, for those who want to go even deeper, Sacred Sphere. That meets twice per month. It's a 2-hour it's community meeting, but I'm where I'm guiding you in your development of your intuition and manifestation practice. It's a wonderful community. People are there who I've worked with to develop their intuitive abilities. There are channels, animal communicators, intuitive readers, mediums who are there to practice their skills. And you can be one of those who practice your skills or not. You could be there to practice manifestation and just cultivating your own intuition for your life. And you can also get readings from these fantastic, fabulous readers. So that's Sacred Sphere. We're actually meeting this Sunday, which is February 25th, I think, as I'm offering this live. And that's going to be a wonderful resource ongoing. It has been going on for a few months now. And as I have this incredible soul shifting opportunity, we're going to bring all of those pieces together. And so there you go, Sacred Sphere. Hi. Hi there. It says Facebook user. I'm not sure who it is. Nice to see you. So, hi, Victoria. What are you saying there? Divine Timely. I needed to hear this today. I love it. I love it, Victoria. Thank you for being here. And Caitlin says, I will take in anything you have to teach. Oh, I love it. Would anybody like a reading? Would you like to receive? I have some cards here. If you want to put in the comments, if you would like some support or some insight on something, just say a little bit about what it is that you would like me to hook into, if it is a subject or an area of your life, and I will offer some intuitive insight, or perhaps a channeled message, or perhaps a card, or perhaps all of it. So, what are some other things that we have going on right now? Spirit is talking to us about some difficult times. I'm feeling the message while we're waiting to see if there are any requests for intuitive readings. We have some times that are about us right now, even though we move through that, for the most part, that big challenge of that pandemic that we had, that there's a lot of um, socioeconomic and political and different industries are having some upset. I'm here in Los Angeles, and I am impacted by the strikes that go on in the entertainment industry, because my husband is in the entertainment industry, and we also, this studio that I have my podcast and everything else in, um, is also utilized in film and television projects. So, there's a lot of just troubling stuff going on. And, there's wars, and there are just some really painful things that are occurring in our world. And that spirit wants us to know that it's all working out, that this is all just releasing of some of the more toxic paradigms in our human culture race. So even though there are people who are suffering, and it's true, and there are people who are being wronged, that your prayer, as a matter of fact, is helping both those who are in those more extreme situations, and if you're in that extreme situation as well. And then it's also helping you to do your part. Prayer is one of the ways that we do our part, our energy healing that we send out. So, just a little support there. That could be another thing that we're feeling, that fear or hesitancy about any particular day is just simply what the state of the world and the state of what's going on in society. So Victoria says, any guidance for the 222? Oh, that's right. It is. I forgot. I saw it on the calendar and then I forgot about it. The guidance for the 222 portal today, or anything to focus on for the full moon. All right. So let me feel this for Victoria. Okay, thank you. What was that? So this is for, and Victoria's asking, you're asking very, with a very openness that you want it for all of us, which is so beautiful. That's the first thing they wanted me to acknowledge, is how powerful you are. You are here as a guide. You are here as a healer, and you are here holding a powerful resonant space for us all. And that, just to acknowledge that, how beautiful it is that you framed that in a way that it's for all of us, because you didn't say me in there at all. And now we're going to start by acknowledging that, but we also want to first give you the gift that is here for you with both of these two inputs that you gave us, the 222 portal and the full moon. The 222 portal for Victoria is the opportunity to stand strong in the power of who it is you are here to be. And it is emblematic by your name. There was no accident, and that you were named the one who is victorious. You see, in the vulnerability and the sensitivity that you bring to this space makes your victorious path all that much more powerful. And so with 222, we have this, the twos triplicated, the two being the energy of the polarity of creator and creation, and for you to hold again that paradox of the two, to be the crystalline energy of that manifestation energy. So the two energy that you are asking about, triplicated, but let's start with just the two energy, is for you, especially the victorious one, to be in the energy of crystallization, in the crystalline energies at all times. And so this is something that is just saying you are a powerful creator, and you are a powerful creator in your vulnerability and sensitivity, because that is the input of compassion for you, for yourself, and others. So this beautiful complexity of the energies, the frequencies that you hold, is the symbol, and it is the activating principle of that polarity, which then becomes a triunity, where a duality becomes a triunity as you sit back and you hold the space of the third, or the observer of creator and creation coming together. And this again is then the triplication of the two, 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 reminding us of the triunity of each and every being, and reminding us that when it comes together, the 222 comes together as the energy of six, which is a domestication number, which is an envisioning number, which is both this, it is okay, thank you. They're telling me it is the crossover between this inner frequency of the second dimension and the mirrored frequency of the fifth dimension. And so it's holding both the nature and spirit. It is how the devas of nature are amplified in the fifth dimension. And again, just showing us the power of the crystallization or the crystalline energy. So the full moon is for you, Victoria, to feel the offering is for you to feel that crystalline energy that you channel in each moment. They're showing me as you pull spirit in down into your being from the, higher planes, and as you are walking upon the earth and drawing it up from the crystalline grid of the earth, from the Gaia inner planes, that is the opportunity for you. They're even saying if you want to go stand out on the earth at the full moon and plant your bare feet on the ground and make the Vitruvian man, or basically the pentagram, and make this, legs spread, arms up, and to recognize that you pull in you are a transduction device for those crystalline energies, for you and for all. So that is the messages for that. And we delivered it to Victoria, even though it's for us all, because you were the kind one who actually wanted to make sure that it was a universalized experience. Oh, let's pull a card too. Not this one. We want an Sacred Geometry Activation card. This deck is by Lon, Lon. She's actually been on my podcast, I think, a couple of times. She came in person once, came in to my studio once, and these are very powerful cards. So they're telling me to shuffle 3 times, and then that will be the right card for us. All right, it is prosperity. Who doesn't love prosperity? Ooh, but that really aligns well with the crystallization frequency that we're talking about, that Victoria is bringing to our awareness and also channeling through her being in her life. So prosperity, 3, 6 is the number, which is, comes to, well, so there's 6, as we already talked about, domestication, as well as envisioning, and, a sense of creativity as well with that. And then the 3 is the energy of expression, communication, joy, creativity. And together they come together as 9. And 9 is the harvest. It's also the very humanitarian, and it's also ending cycles. And actually, it is the full moon number, if you think about it, because the full moon is the completion of the manifestation. And that's what 9 is. It's the fullness of the manifestation. And then it's at the edge of it, as the 9 is completing and as the full moon is completing and starting it to tip over again, then we start to consider what we will be planting seeds for, in the next harvest. But the fullness of it is, that harvest energy. So it says the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. And if you look at, for those of you who are watching on the video, the art is an activation symbol of prosperity. Very good. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you for calling that in for us all. So Caitlin says that I would not mind a reading. I'm new about 7 months in and maybe need some assurance I'm on the right path. And so what I think you mean by new is you're kind of new, you're in the beginning of a spiritual awakening. And what a beautiful and brave question to ask. Am I on the right path? And so they say that, Caitlin, you're very questioning of whether you're on the right path is evidence that you're on the right path, because you are asking how you can be a student. You're asking how you can be an alignment. That is the path. That is the whole path. Now, to help you to feel grounded in it, they want to offer to you that, humans are always in this forgetting experience, so maybe you feel awakening often feels like, and so the card already came out, awakening often feels like I just remembered something and I awoke, but it feels familiar, it feels correct and familiar, and that's what awakening is kind of like. And so we're going to always be in that process of awakening and sort of rebuilding our trust with what we are as creators and how the creative forces of the universe works. And I'm reminded of what we talked about actually this past. Actually, it was in my empath group. I have a program called Empowered Empath, and it has like some lessons, and it has some meditations, and it has we meet once per month, and it has the replays of those meetings, which are really powerful too. Anyway, so just in case you're interested in that, you can check it out on my website. And we started that meeting this past Tuesday by the song by Steve Winwood called Higher Love. It's from the early 90s, I think. And the very first lines of that song is, think about it, there must be higher love, down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, and I'll look inside mine. And what those lyrics, those divinely guided lyrics, seem to bring into frame here is just really the option that we can either believe and live as though there is higher love or not. And which do you prefer? And picking the one that you prefer is a self-loving act. If you prefer to experience there is higher love or higher guidance or a grander plan, or that this universe is composed of love, and that somehow this process of how I'm also a part of the creative process, I hold a frequency of being a creator. That's why certain things like prayer or spells or manifesting in the ways that we do and following my intuition, and that there are spirit guides and angels and these other entities of the universe who are like big brothers and sisters that do unconditionally love us, and that there is a creator or source frequency that is the very expression of love, or at least when I am the expression of that creator's love, I can either kind of have that be a guiding light in each moment of my life or not. And the questioning of am I on the right path, to bring yourself sober, if you will, of illusion, of anything that is not facilitating you being who it is that you really are, and how you may be a unified and healing force, a loving part of this earth and this community of human beings and animals and plants and trees and all of that. There's and we can kind of let it boil down to, well, what am I having faith in? I guess I'm just having faith in hope and love. And think about it, there must be higher love. If I can imagine that there is higher love, then there must be. And so that is what I'm going to allow myself to fall into today and trust that I am an expression of that today. So again, to sum it up, the very question of, am I on the right path, is evidence that you're on the right path because you care. And so you got some cards. You got Fire Dragon, which is actually the signature card of this deck. This is the Dragon deck by Diana Cooper. So that's kind of cool when you get the actual signature card of the deck. And it says, burns up lower energies around you. So I feel you can take that to heart today. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. Oof, that's a good button on that message that you got, I think. And then we also have, you had two cards come out, and the other one is Archangel Gabriel's Dragon. And Gabriel is the archangel overseeing communication and expression and joy, and also the element of water, which is, I think, really timely because we're in Pisces season right now, which is a water sign. And it says brings purification. Wow, these go really well together. Purification by fire and purification by water. Brings purification. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. Wonderful, beautiful. So I love when the word discipline comes up, because in the root, and the very first, there's, after you take off the last couple of letters, last 2, 3 letters, it's disciple. Because sometimes we think of discipline and we associate it with getting spankings or groundings or something like that. But what we actually have here is the word disciple. So self-discipline is that we are being a disciple to ourselves, to self-love, self-acceptance, and to the ways that we're here to contribute to the unity consciousness. So self-discipline brings ascension and joy. I love it. I hope that's helpful, Caitlin. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. Let me see what else we have here. I don't see the name because when you have to, like, if you're coming in on StreamYard from Facebook, you have to like click through. It's up in the description and it just give it permission to show me your name. So sorry, I don't see your name. And your question is, I used to sense spirit around me, but not lately. Am I too needy or trying to force it? So, did you hear the beginning of this live stream, this message, that when we're feeling that separation or aloneness, that we we actually have the opportunity. It's like spirit is taking their hands off the bike seat when the child's riding the bike, taking their hands off this so you can actually feel your own engagement. You can feel your own power in the sensing of spirit. So to speak those loving, kind words to yourself and upon yourself, and even start to affirm, like activating your authentic inner voice. So sense spirit around me. So you see, that's actually a spell that we're casting. I don't sense spirit around me. Lately, I don't sense spirit around me. And I say this with all the love in the world, that that is actually what we're calling in when we make that statement. So then, if I can trust, I'm going to channel this for us. If I, in this moment, trust that I am supported, I know that this universe is composed of love. I choose to interact with the truth, the higher truth, that this universe is composed of love, that the fabric of everything is love, including myself. And so as I am an instrument and an avatar of love, I affirm and I claim that in this moment, I am in the full sensing of spirit, that everything around me is the nurturing, the loving, the presence of spirit as I come present in this moment. I love myself into the space of affirming that I am an avatar of spirit, that spirit is here supporting and loving me, and that I am in this moment sensing spirit. I am sensing spirit. In fact, my being, my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body, my spirit, my personality, all of this is composed of spirit. That is the truth. That is the fabric of all that is. I am all that is, and all that is me as well. And I affirm and activate in this moment the loving sense and communion and connection and conversation and activity and dance that I am experiencing with spirit right now. I thank you for this opportunity. I hold myself open for the evidences of this, the synchronization, the synchronicities, the signs that show me this, that congratulate me in this part of my path, in this very moment where I fully and completely sense spirit. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. I hope that's helpful to you. Awesome. Nice to see you too, Tanya. Nice to see you. Wonderful. I'm so glad. Thank you, Victoria. Beautiful. Hi, Jody. Hi, Jenny Lee. And Caitlin said, thank you so much. I needed that. Great. And Jenny Lee says, I'm on my spiritual path and human path. That's good. Yeah. We need to, I mean, we got no choice but to be on the human one. We're pretty sure of that, right? But also, I think we're all sure that we're on the spiritual path as well. I like that. Thank you. Learning how to merge them as one. Would you be willing to pull a card for me? Absolutely. So I'm going to take a sip of water first because I feel thirsty. And I am feeling this deck for you, Jenny Lee. And before I pull the card, though, merging them as one. So, Jenny Lee, if you didn't, again, hear the beginning of this, I encourage you to go back and listen because the merging them as one is something that we get to opt into all the time. And that means that we activate it by, similar to the message that I just gave, by calling it in, by speaking it out, by channeling it into in our awareness and affirming it and walking it out on the path. So one thing that they are giving me is the symbol of, it's basically like the symbol of the Merkaba, but you know how, or you might think of it as the Star of David, where we have two triangles, one that is, here's its base and here's its base. So two triangles upon, pointed at one another. One that is the base is at the heavens, and one is the base is at the earth, and their 2 points are together and they're touching. So imagine that is your being, like your energy, these two triangles that come together, and they're 2 points, they connect or they touch right at your heart. So two large triangles, one triangle whose point is at your heart and is angled up and out so that its base is facing the heavens. One point is down and out and its base is facing the earth. These two triangles, right? So as you said spiritual path and human path. So you might think of that triangle that is its base on the earth, that's the human path, or it's the nature, it's the material reality. The one with its point that goes up and its base pointing toward the heavens, spiritual, or it is the higher, if you will, and it is the non-physical. So take a moment here with me, Jenny Lee, if you would like, and take a breath. Of course, all of us can interact and engage in this if you like. Take a breath. If it's safe for you to close your eyes. Now sense those triangles where their points come together at your heart. And let's first tap into the heart. You might be visualizing or just imagining or sensing these two triangles. Now, dropping into your heart right now, and just feel toward you with your heart instrument, love. Now, you can use a picture or a recollection of someone or something that just instantly brings you an abundance of love that you feel in your heart. Anyone or anything. We're doing heart brain coherence here. You may be familiar with it. And we are powering up the coherence of the heart energy. So feel that love. You can even just feel love for love's sake. Now, As I said, there are two triangles whose points meet here at your heart. So now allow these triangles to become more like conical shaped or funnel shaped or vortex shaped. So it's not just a triangle, it's actually circular all around in both of these. Just sensing, imagining it, allowing that sense to come in. Now we have the tips of these vortices in the heart here. Now let your heart be powered up. Let it be creating a more powerful resonance. And as it does, it's drawing these two vortices or triangles into one another. And the tips of them begin to even surpass one another, so that the tip that is from the heavens, from above, is now moving down past the one from nature, and they're actually coming into one another so that it's these are coming together. Again, remember the Star of David or the Merkaba, where the two triangles are coming across one another, but these are two vortices. Now, this is nature and spirit fully occupying your form. Remembering that your heart is here actually creating the magnetic pull for both to come into one another. And when you feel that or sense or even just decide, choose that this full coalescence has happened, that these two vortices or triangles, this Merkaba energy, your light vehicle has become complete and one with your heart powering it up, then you can just affirm, and so it is. And trust that as you move forward, that you are like this walking prayer. Think about that. I am a walking prayer. Walking symbolizes being human and being on this plane of the material. Prayer symbolizes spirit, symbolizes the power of spirit becoming in every moment. And so, as a walking prayer, you are a fully integrated nature and spirit being. All right. Oh, did I pull a card? I didn't pull a card yet. So, let's pull a card. Use that exercise at any and all times. All right, they're telling me 4 shuffles. 3 and 4. And the card we have here is receive. Ooh, I love that. Look how beautiful it is, too. So I have pulled a card from the Oracle of the Unicorns deck by Cordelia Francesca Brabs, Brabbs. And so this card, for those of you who are listening, is a unicorn with a woman who has like kind of magenta hair and a magenta dress, and she's holding a crystal ball that has like it's white and magenta and light pink as well. And the unicorn is just looking lovingly forward over her shoulder. And the message is receive. Be open to receiving goodness. Believe you are worthy of abundance. A gift is coming to you soon. I love it. Beautiful. All right, everyone. Well, actually, the noise pollution staved off pretty well. So stay tuned. I will have Shanna from Sense of Soul podcast coming on in probably a few weeks. I have someone else coming on next week. I think the next 2 weeks. So you can definitely be sure that you click the bell to get notifications from this channel for when I am going live and doing things like this or doing live podcasts. You can also join my mailing list. That would be a really good idea because that's how, you stay abreast of all of the things that I'm doing. Free offers as well as the powerful spiritual development and experiencing opportunities that I offer. I have some immersive ones coming up. And so, also to remind you that I have Sacred Sphere, which is your community for manifestation and intuition development, that I lead with teaching and meditation and many different ways to help us to enhance both intuition and manifestation practice and your intuitive abilities. There are people who are powerful readers and channels who are there offering readings. And that is meeting this Sunday and you can subscribe or drop in. So go find that on my website. And basically, Tricia Carr Charm, Tricia Carr, and the word charm. And you can find it under, what is it, courses, I think it is. Work with Tricia courses, and then you'll find the different, you know, ways that we can work together. And Sacred Sphere is a really powerful community for that. And then there is, of course, also the Modern Mystic, which is a really awesome community that I'm servicing twice per month too, by a live guided meditation and a spiritual workshop. And that's only $11 a month. Really amazing. So there we go. That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here on this broadcast or for listening in the replay. You can definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, find me on Instagram, and then you can listen to the podcast, which is Charmed Life with Tricia Carr. That's what I have for you today. Thanks for being here, and thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.